is Bill Squibb. I'm 66 and semi-retired. I've been acquiring things probably as long as I can remember, at least in my adulthood. Must go back 30 years. My acquiring probably stems around renovation materials, tools, construction materials. Likewise, I collect magazines, books, how-to magazines, or books on building construction. Kind of a handyman, doing renovations and improvements. I don't think other people understand the compulsion of hoarding or a hoarder. I've heard a number of different terms, the pack rat, collector. There are things that I just want to keep and can't throw out, and I can't really explain why. I don't know that I fully understand it. I have a disorder, and it's hoarding.
Those may say they're medium chilies, but they are blow your head off chili.
Oh?
My name is Lorelei Azarian. I'm 57, and I've been partners with Bill for 25, maybe 26 years.
This will be ready in 20 minutes. Can you tackle that and find a place for your egg cartons?
Okay.
Thank you.
The level of disarray that Bill seems to either enjoy or succumb to is crazy-making for me. I'm tired of being lumped in with things. I'm tired of living in a home where I can't invite friends in because I'm mortified. We have no social life. We can't reciprocate an invitation to dinner. We always make excuses, but the excuses have to end. It's time.
The stuff that's in the house is diminishing the space that we have available and is clutter, I'm sure, to most people everywhere.
Bill's stuff, as we lovingly call it. It's like a sailor in the sea. It's Bill and his stuff. And it's not anything you can compete with because it's so precious to him. When I look at the stuff in this house, I hate it. I truly hate it.
The condition of the house and the disorder causes stress all around. Stress in our relationship, stress in our daughter and our relationship.
And be careful, it's hot.
Thank you.
Okay, sweetie.
My name's Amelia Squibb, and Bill Squibb is my father. The most difficult thing about living with him is the feeling of not having a real house. When I was younger, I didn't really realize, I knew that like my house wasn't clean, or it wasn't normal, I guess, with normal setting and stuff, but I used to stay at friends' houses a lot, I noticed when I was younger. I'm not comfortable in my house.
Amelia probably spends most of her time in her room.
My room is different than the rest of the house.
Say it's a clean, organized environment, not a cluttered environment as the rest of the house is.
I kind of have my sanctuary of my bedroom that I walk directly to. I think by me having my room the way it is, I think he thinks that's okay and that's enough. I feel like he's like, all right, she's content. She has that room, which obviously I'm not content with just my bedroom. That makes no sense. I don't actually go into the rest of my house unless I'm going to do laundry, because I hate walking through our house. I hate seeing things. I hate it. It's frustrating for me to just walk upstairs and say something to someone upstairs. And it's really difficult to deal with.
I don't think I really focused on the impact it was having on me and my family. Lorelei recently, this past year, fell, injuring herself severely.
Not realizing that Bill had moved one of the boxes at the foot of the stairway, I ended up having an accident.
She fell down the stairs, broke her arm.
And I was really angry with Bill. And to this day, and it's 9 months later, those boxes still aren't moved off the stairway. I can't live in an environment where stuff comes before people. He's gonna have to move. I can't do this anymore.
So where are we starting?
Dining room.
The dining/music/dumping ground.
Correct.
I'm Dr. David Tolan. I'm the director of the Anxiety Disorders Center at the Institute of Living.
So tell me what we have here.
The entire bag that you have in your hand is keep.
Why don't we take a look at that before we make that judgment?
All right? This is a keep. It's a bag of keys. This is an electrical tool. I actually don't know how that got in there.
I have no idea.
Another electrical instrument, back brace, saw blades, a hat.
What is that?
It's very becoming also. Stud finder. That's keep.
Let me ask you a question here, Bill. How many stud finders do you have?
2.
2. How many stud finders do you need?
2. My connection to my things is multifold. It's if I throw it away, I'm going to need it, or better, if I throw it away, then I'm going to immediately need it as soon as I've thrown it away.
Those used to be my makeup cleaners.
Yeah, they were hand cleaners. I'm not sure that there's even any in them. Yes, there are.
Those were face washers, and they're definitely dried out. That's why I threw them away.
Oh,
Wait, Amelia, you threw these away?
Yep.
Where
In
did-
my garbage.
You threw them away in the garbage.
He goes through my trash. When I throw away garbage, he always takes out the garbage on Fridays, and he always goes through my garbage because everything needs to be recycled.
How did they make their way in here, Bill?
They get recycled. I used them to wash grease off my hands.
You went into the garbage can and
No,
got them.
that's it.
Her bedroom bucket.
Yeah,
Which
to
is
her
trash.
bedroom trash can.
Right.
Okay.
I see a need to recycle everything, probably to an extreme.
Recycling's fantastic. Hoarding is not so fantastic.
That's
There's a fine line here, and I just, as long as we can make sure you stay on this side of that line.
Well, if ever you need one of those. You need to come in close on this. The 10 Commandments of Clutter. There's an irony about this somewhere.
I don't think this is going to be an easy change for Bill. I'm truly hoping that clearing some spaces will allow him to see what he's been missing and allow him to clear space in his head.
If you thumb through any given magazine, you'll find something that's interesting
That's
to you.
true.
I guess the question is, does a magazine from 2001 really warrant placement in your home? Or could you simply take the risk and say, I can get this elsewhere if I need it?
I can compromise. Amelia's expectations were much higher than what we've accomplished so far. And I knew when she came up the stairs that she was going to be unhappy. I know you're shuddering.
You don't need those.
I have a computer that uses them, yes.
No, put them on a disc, a CD or a USB or something, or on a flash
No
drive. You do
USB.
not need that.
Let me look at the box for a moment. My butting heads with my daughter Amelia happens occasionally. She gets quite frustrated.
They're magazines on the freaking staircase.
They don't belong here, that's correct.
They don't belong in the house. Where the hell are you gonna put them? In the storage shed that you're supposed to go through and move them back out into another place?
Then I'll put them in the shop when I get it.
I'm gonna move them and move them and move them. They're gonna be in a shop in 3 cities over that you're never gonna be able to get to read.
She does have a
It's
point.
so frustrating.
She's frustrated by my not doing it. I'm going to be
right.
frustrated by doing it.
That's right. Somebody's
So-
going to be frustrated
Right.
today.
It takes a very long time, and that was really discouraging to me, 'cause just the amount of stuff we have to go through, it just doesn't, it can't add up right. Like, there's no way that'll ever happen if it has to continue at the pace it's going.
You're looking for me to say quality of life or something, and I don't see how that's going to help her achieve that.
You're not gonna
don't.
have newspapers on the stairs that mom is gonna trip on and fall down the stairs
These
anymore.
aren't newspapers.
I really felt like we were never going to get anywhere with this. Every box was something else he had to go through. Every magazine was something that he was going to have time to read, and he was never going to catch up.
At what point, Bill, do you just say enough? Do you just say it ends now, it ends here, I'm not going to be a hoarder anymore?
I can't do that.
In some ways, It was the perfect storm for Bill's hoarding because it contained every element of what he likes to save, right there in that box.
I'm feeling resentment, anger, and that's shutting me down. And you know, she's very upset. And I can't.
Keep the box.
I can't.
Just keep it.
I can't solve that right now. I just can't. I can't do it.
I feel like we didn't accomplish anything. I feel like it's gonna be back to what it was, and it's not gonna change.
So I am shutting down. I'm not going to deal with it.
It was an angry silence. It was clearly obvious that he wanted to throw in the towel at several junctures.
I want this to happen and get better. I don't want to regress.
I don't want you to either. I want something to happen too. But this, what I'm trying to say to you is, I understand you were done, and I understand that you were really stressful. But
When I said I'm done, I wasn't done upstairs. I was done with the process. I was at overload and wanted nothing to do with any more to do with hoarding or the solution of the problem or anything when I came back in. I was finished for the day. And I was just, I almost walked away and didn't come back. If I hadn't gone for that walk, I would have, that's it.
But if we just say, "Phew, wow, thank God that's over, you know, it was a great learning experience, ta-da," and keep on going, we're going to be back here in less than a week because there's more than enough boxes to fill these spaces we've cleaned. And I don't want that to happen. The results will be disastrous for the family.
My biggest concern seeing the results was I wasn't happy. Okay, sure, he cleaned the stairs. Sure, he cleaned off the table. Great. We still have this entire house that we have not even remotely touched, and he was having such a hard time going through things that shouldn't even matter.
This is going to be months, maybe even years. It's going to take Bill and the family a long time to get rid of this. This stuff didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to leave overnight.
Once the doctor's gone, once back to our daily life, it's just not going to change.
Amelia hasn't got over her unhappiness at the moment because of that fear that it's not going to go forward, that I'm going to regress. It's happened in the past, and it becomes a never-ending battle. Don't want that to happen.
I truly feel that if this starts to revert back to the way it was, one, I'm going to pick stuff up and throw it out in the backyard. It's going to be done with, but I can't live this way, and it's going to have to be an ultimatum. He's going to have to take his stuff and move to an apartment. I can't do this.
My name is Andrew, and I'm 19 years old.
Come on, Freckles.
I don't think my brain is wired for me to be neat and tidy. It actually drives me a little nuts when things are too clean and organized. For me, walking through this house is natural. I know how to balance myself. I know where to step, where to go. So it's not really a problem. I've always been in this type of environment, and I learned the hoarding from my mom. I don't know how else to live.
I'm Jean, and I'm Andrew's mom. I haven't made a great deal about his hoarding because I do the same thing. He's learned it from me. It has become ingrained in him as well as in me.
I think the fact that both of us are participating in it makes it a vicious cycle.
My name is Chris, I'm 25, and I'm Andrew's brother. My brother, he's 19. Andrew, love him. He is stuck in that house. When I saw my brother's bedroom, the first thing I thought of was my mother's bedroom. I couldn't believe it. He had taken on the same traits that my mother did.
I hesitate to blame my mom, but I mean, it's just the situation we're in. She led me to this organization.
I cannot say that he shouldn't blame me, because he should blame me. I am responsible for it.
I was too young to know what was going on. I never remember my dad being around.
My father, I don't know the best way of saying, he was a bastard-coated bastard with bastard filling. I mean, he was not the best guy.
When I went through my divorce, it was a very, very painful thing for me. That was totally out of my control. I had no recourse. I couldn't say, no, you know, I don't want the divorce.
When my mom was drinking, she pretty much just stayed in her room, isolated herself. When she was done for the day, she'd just go in there and watch TV or read some romance novels and kill a box of wine.
They had to make their own meals. They had to dress themselves. They had to wash their own clothes. They had to do all these things that a traditional mother would do.
I tried to get away from that house as much as I could. I would spend all of my time at my friend's house. I would spend time just walking around the city.
I was a failure as a mother.
This is an emotional problem. This is deep-seated. I think they feel that their lives have some sort of emptiness without the clutter. They need to have stuff.
Andrew has had 15 years to watch me hoard things. While it's only been 15 years for me, and I'm over 50 now, it has been his whole life. It's his way of coping since he was 4 years old.
It scares me to think that I'll be a hoarder forever, and I'll never be able to live any other way.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for being here. I am Dorothy Brenninger. I'm a professional organizing expert, and I specialize in hoarding. Why are we here? Why do you want all of us here? Why?
So we can have a clean house.
Mm-hmm. In this case, Andrew is 19 years old. He is the youngest self-admitted hoarder that I've met. This is going to be new for me. I'll be whispering in your ear, but I'd like for you to manage the crew some of the time and actually help them and your mom get this house up and running.
Okay.
Okay? Teaching organizational skills to Andrew will be a key. This is not like we're taking a hoarder who is 40 or 50 or 60 and having them undo these bad habits that they've had for years. We can actually affect a change and teach him now the kind of skills that he can use going forward. Okay, so we're gonna get going, but actually, I'd like you to give the direction, so please tell the crew that let's get going, let's head into the house and start on the living room.
Okay. Let's get going. Start in the living room.
Let's go.
Perfect. Yes.
Maybe get the things behind the door so we can actually open the door all the way.
You got leadership on my very right-hand side. I love it. What
is it that you think you need or needed that your mom was not able to give to you?
She was just like, go away. And that's what she did when she came home. She just stayed in her room and she checked out as a parent. I really always looked to my grandmother. When my mom couldn't take care of something, she would.
What did it feel like to have your grandmother in your life? And what are you gonna miss?
I really miss just walking into her house and feeling like I was home. I'd walk in the front door and she'd be there with a warm smile.
And the warm smile said to you what? What did it say to you?
Said that she was happy I was there. She was glad to see me.
Every child should have that, huh? To know that someone's happy, that they're there.
Now I just feel like I don't have anybody. Really old cake?
How is it really old?
Well, if you go like this and feel dust on it, just toss it.
Pen? / calculator?
Ooh, can be helpful. I need an office supplies area, huh?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little frustrated right now because I look at it like they're going through a treasure hunt right now. They're looking for buried treasure that they haven't seen. See, most of this stuff I would just end up tossing all together. They're picking through the treasure instead of tossing out the sand.
Mom, popcorn tin?
Is it empty?
Yeah.
Can it be used for like cookies and stuff?
I guess.
They know that there's only a certain amount of time left, and they won't be able to get it all done if they keep this up.
We're gonna go left to right, and let's get to it because we're gonna clear this out and then get right onto the middle room and then move on to Andrew's room. We're gonna each take a bag and start clearing the cans and bottles.
Okay.
Would you? Would you help?
Why are we saving my room for last?
Because we can't do two at once.
We can't?
So,
Okay.
all right.
But we better get to it.
It will.
Oh, really?
I mean, if my room is the one that doesn't get clean because we run out of time, you have no idea how angry I'm gonna get.
Really?
I'm challenging you to help your mom right now, okay? And to do the very best that you can to help her. When you know that what you want is a priority to you.
I mean, I really, really think I should be working on my room, but we've been working on the rest of the house this whole time.
We can look at the surface and go, God, this kid, he doesn't know how to work. He's oppositional and he doesn't want to work. The truth is, Andrew doesn't know how to give a voice in a healthy way to what's inside of him.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna be literally given no other options,
No, I mean, you could say, to heck with it, I'm gonna go do my room. But you have to let everybody know that you're not gonna cooperate, and why?
Well, I'm not going to cooperate with this plan.
Tell them, not me.
No, they're not listening to me.
Well, get them to listen to you.
No, it doesn't matter. They never listen to me. No one listens to me. No one values what I have to say.
Well, you get them to. You get them to value what you have to say. So, you just get your mom's attention. Tell her to turn around. Look at you.
Well, I don't have a problem with what my mom's doing. Dorothy is making us work here first.
Got it. So I'm here.
Okay, you tell her.
Tell me.
I think this plan of action is
Yes.
If we work on 2 rooms that my mom has been hoarding forever, then we aren't gonna get to my room.
I'd love for you to join us. If you'd rather do your own room,
You know, at this
I understand.
point, I can't do either of it. I need...
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about whose room should be done first. I want to find out what's really going on here. There's a person inside of you that's, you know, really hurting and upset.
I just don't know what value the relationship with my mom has when these things are gone, when we don't have hoarding in common anymore.
The hoarding gave you what? Hoarding with your mom gave you what, really?
A bond.
Yeah. And that's what you really want.
I feel like she's just gonna go to work every day and forget I exist.
At 19, it's the time in Andrew's life to say, I'm moving forward. It's not the time for him to make up for losses in his childhood. He can only say, I'm sad and angry about what I didn't get.
Your mom has lots to learn. And we don't know if she'll ever learn, and that's what you're facing, huh? You don't know if she'll ever get it. And you might have to just accept that. Hmm?
Can I ask you to put the bag right here?
Okay.
Thank you. I think Andrew is doing a really good job getting rid of the stuff in his room. He really is sticking with it, and he is throwing things out, and there's not going to be much left in his room. We took a lot out of this house. I figured we would because there was just so much trash. Really, by far and away, this is the most trash I've ever extracted from a house. We took out 7 tons of trash, and 1 ton of that was donation.
I think the most important thing I took away from this whole process is hoarding isn't any way to live. And you absolutely need to create the best situations for you because you can't expect other people to do it for you.
Andrew is a wonderful candidate for therapy. I think Andrew needs somebody who can really hear his feelings and help him become a man.
I think I definitely have a greater chance of success than my mom does. It's very possible she'll just continue the way she's been living.
If, and I think this is a big if, I go back to the hoarding, he can move on. He could go live somewhere else, and I'd be okay with that. On the other hand, I don't want to let him go because he is my baby.
My future is bright. However, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to include my mom in that. I just love her so much, and I don't want to leave her behind.
My name is Richard. I'm a very loving man, and I collect rubbish. My house is a complete sloppy mess, and it's all good stuff. Just haven't been able to enjoy it, because there's no room.
I'm Connie, and I'm Richard's daughter. He collects a lot of items that he doesn't need. Plumbing pipes, vans, storage units. I found beef sitting on top of piles in the kitchen with maggots crawling on it. I'm trying to get him to realize that this is not healthy. If he were to lose his house and all his stuff, he will feel like he has nothing left, and I feel helpless. I don't know what he's gonna do. I have no idea.
My daughter, Cheryl, died when she was 3 months.
My mom went to check on the baby, and she had passed away from sudden infant death syndrome.
Richard never knew what to do about it. He didn't know how to handle it.
I felt very, very uptight about it because I just didn't understand life.
With Cheryl's death, our marriage started falling apart, and then 3 years later, we got divorced. Once we moved, he started collecting more.
I felt very lonely. I couldn't carry on just by myself, so I went out and collected all kinds of junk.
He isolated himself from everyone, and that's when it just really exploded. And we didn't know that it had gotten this bad up until, 3 or 4 years ago. And we realized how bad it really was.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'm Matt Paxton. I'm an extreme cleaning specialist. Richard, what is the ultimate goal? What do you want to see happen by the time we leave?
The house completely clean.
Clean. Okay. The problem with someone like Richard is he's going to say all the right things. Do you have any thoughts or concerns?
I say, let's go for it.
I'm Dr. David Tolan. I'm a clinical psychologist who specializes in the treatment of hoarding disorder. Here's the really tricky thing about cleanouts. If all you do is clean a person's house out, you're not really addressing the problem. You're not changing their behavior. And in fact, you're giving them one more reason potentially to feel stressed out, and they may engage in more of their hoarding behaviors.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, so this is trash, right?
Right.
That's an old hose, actually.
Yeah, no good.
So what do I do with it?
Trash.
All right, these lobster plates.
Trash.
Everything in here is trash.
Richard's doing great. He's actually doing better than most.
Okay.
In the 20 minutes we've been working, you've already let go more than I thought you were going to today. I'm gonna be honest. All right, so this is what you've actually let go so far. What do you think?
Well, it makes me feel better because I feel that everything that's crap is gone.
But I want you to feel good in what you're doing.
Oh, I am.
You ready for us to fill the rest of this dumpster?
Yes, I am, sir.
Thank you.
And more.
All right, it's good. I like it.
All right, 2 bottles of whiskey in there.
You know where?
They're in a box over here. A bottle of rum and a bottle of whiskey.
You haven't thrown anything else?
They were right here.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Okay. Can't find it. I'll go out and buy another.
Now, I'd be lying if I didn't say I recommend against that, given your medications. Richard should not be drinking, and he's taking medication that interacts very badly with alcohol. It is your choice.
Yep, and I'm gonna get them. When I pay for something, I want it.
You could gift it to someone if you know.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
That's my prerogative, my choice, and my attitude.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, you're getting very irritated at Connie
Well,
just because
Damn it all to hell. Leave me alone, please.
You can see he wants to argue with you
Oh, yeah,
about
he
this.
does.
He wants to get into it with you.
Oh, yeah.
He's almost daring you. He has technically the right to drink alcohol, but he shouldn't.
Right.
And I think one of the things is we're going to need to start talking about maybe an alcohol intervention for your dad as
Right.
well.
Okay.
Okay. I'm worried about your safety.
Okay.
And I'm worried about your mental health.
Okay.
Richard's taking medications that interact very badly with alcohol. How often do you drink?
Almost every 20 minutes.
Seems like a lot of alcohol, doesn't it?
Mm.
Do you think you have a drinking problem?
Nope.
Has drinking ever caused a problem for you?
Nope.
He becomes so defensive that he's simply not going to listen to it. Richard.
Yep.
Before you jump up and bolt, can you tell me what you're thinking about?
Nope. Can't do it.
Why can't you?
Because I'm sick.
Sick in what way?
In my head.
Meaning mental illness?
Mm-hmm.
I'm increasingly worried about his mental health. As a licensed psychologist, I'm required to do what it takes to get this man safe. When I see an older gentleman who is living like this and clearly having difficulty caring for himself, I'm required by law in this state to call Elder Protective Services. In this case, I think it's a very good idea.
No, I'm getting up.
Part of what
Get out of here.
Richard.
I'm gonna bolt.
Bolting doesn't help. Somebody's got to tell them the ugly truth. And if that makes me the bad guy, then I'll be the bad guy. If that's what it takes for Richard to be safe, I'm willing to play that part.
This is just my job as protective services. I can inform you if it allows it.
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for that right at the moment.
All right, come on in. Make it tight here. Near the end of the day, we realized how bad the house really was. And I said, you know what, I gotta let Connie and the family know. I'm bringing you in here to prepare you for the reality. This is a bad, dangerous home. All that mold, different colors, white, green, black. It's all extremely dangerous. The house itself is destroyed, to be honest. All the ceiling has to come out, all the walls have to come out, all this wood has to be removed.
Condition of the house is absolutely devastating.
We did not expect what we saw. The smell was overwhelming. Our eyes were burning, our throats hurt. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Housing Authority came today and they put an uninhabitable sticker on it, which is what they needed to do. Richard can't stay here. It's not safe.
It was obvious our dad couldn't live in that house the way it was. And it was a huge disappointment because our goal was to get him back in that house, and now what? Where does he go?
We really wanted to make sure, are we doing the right thing? Are we helping this family? So we had to pull the plug.
Regardless of the status of the house, I think that Richard is not safe to live by himself. So Matt and I really had to scramble to try to find mental health and assisted living resources that would be available. And I also had to talk to the family about who might be able to take him in on a temporary basis.
My dad will not be homeless. He will be staying with me initially, and I'm going to be the appointed guardian for my father. It's going to be very hard for my father because he's already trying to load up cars with his belongings, so we have to work on that.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but keeping the person out of the house was the right thing on this one.
He just wasn't safe in here.
I've done thousands of houses and never stopped cleaning, but today we did. Sometimes you just have to do the right thing.
Hopefully he's moving on to something better.
Fingers crossed.